I never thought that a single week could change the way I looked at my entire life. But 7 days ago I made a promise to myself. A small promise. The kind that feels harmless at first, but slowly becomes a mirror you can't look away from. I told myself I would track every dollar I spent for 7 days. Just 1 week. Just to see what the truth looked like. I didn't expect the truth to look back at me so clearly and honestly so painfully. I started this challenge because I kept feeling like my money disappeared without permission, like it had legs or wings or a secret escape tunnel I hadn't found yet. Every Sunday I opened my banking app and felt this quiet shame in my chest, wondering how I kept earning money but never really keeping it, wondering why my days felt heavy, why my mind always felt a little behind. So on Monday morning, I opened a blank note on my phone, typed day 1, and promised myself I wouldn't lie. Not even about the small things, because the small things were probably the ones hurting me the most. The first thing I noticed was how automatic spending felt. It was barely 8 a.m. when I bought a coffee. I didn't even think about it. It was muscle memory, a reflex. $5 gone in 5 seconds. And while $5 wasn't a disaster, it was the way I didn't feel it that scared me. Like the money was never mine to begin with. Throughout the day I kept writing down everything and every snack, every cent, and each time I typed a number I felt this tiny sting, like I was seeing myself from outside my body, watching the ways I escaped boredom or filled silence, or rewarded myself for no reason. On day 2 the discomfort got louder. I started catching myself before tapping my card, asking, do I actually want this, or am I just avoiding something? It was strange how often the answer was avoiding stress, avoiding loneliness, avoiding the feeling of not being enough. Money had become a distraction I didn't notice, a quiet leak in the background of my life. Day 3 arrived with a small failure. I promised myself I wouldn't buy takeout one, but after the long day of work I convinced myself I deserved it. Then I wrote the number down, and for the first time I felt the cost emotionally and not financially. It wasn't the money that bothered me. It was the story I kept telling myself, the story where I handled everything alone and comforted myself with food or convenience. It felt like I was using money to patch up holes in my life that needed something deeper than spending. Day 4 was interesting because I started noticing patterns. I spent more when I was tired or restless, or when my self-control felt thin. I spent less when I slowed down, when I breathed, when I reminded myself that calmness was free. Tracking every dollar wasn't just about money. It was about awareness. Day 5 hit me the hardest. I looked at the total for the week so far and realized I had spent almost half my usual amount simply because I was paying attention. It was shocking how much clarity can save you without even trying to be frugal. It wasn't about restriction. It was about consciousness, and consciousness made me feel lighter, more in control, more like myself. But day 6 brought another setback. I bought something out of impulse again. Nothing big, just a random online purchase I didn't need but convinced myself I wanted. The moment after I clicked buy now, I felt this familiar sinking feeling, that quiet internal sigh, the one that says you did it again. But instead of criticizing myself, I wrote it down and admitted something real. I wasn't trying to be perfect, I was trying to be honest. And honesty includes the messy parts too. On day 7 something shifted. I woke up feeling proud, not because I did everything right, but because I finally felt connected to my money instead of afraid of it. I understood myself more. I understood my triggers, my habits, my emotional shortcuts, and I realized something important, something soft, something simple. The money was never the real problem. I was, or more truthfully, the version of me that moved through life half asleep was the problem. The version that avoided thinking, avoided feeling, avoided choosing with intention. I thought tracking every dollar would feel like punishment. But it felt like coming home to myself, like turning on a light in a room I had been stumbling through for years. I learned that awareness isn't restrictive, it's liberating. I learned that discipline isn't cold, it's compassionate. And I learned that every dollar is a story, a reflection of where my attention goes, my emotions go, my energy goes. Now when I look at my spending, I don't feel shame. I feel curiosity. I feel responsibility. I feel possibility. I'm not fixed. I'm not flawless. But I'm awake. And that's enough for now. So after 7 days of tracking every dollar, I'm not promising I'll be perfect tomorrow. I'm promising I'll stay aware. I'm promising I'll keep paying attention. I'm promising I'll keep choosing the version of me that wants to grow, because this journey isn't about money, it's about becoming the kind of person who can trust himself. And maybe that's the real wealth I was searching for all along. I'm fixing my life little by little, and you can stay if you want to see how far I get.